Hey there gardeners, this is super exciting. I have got flowers here on my passion fruit vine, and the reason I say exciting is because this was the vine I wasn't really all that sure about, and to be honest, I just put it in on a whim and thought, you know what, we'll give it a go. I do have some future plans for it, but I didn't think it'd survive here. It's quite dry, it's really exposed, which of course it likes the sun, but it's not getting any extra water because I just don't have the time and can't be bothered really watering it. And it has done absolutely amazing here, which is maybe because it's on a bit of a downhill. It's probably getting a little bit of the water collected from that. But apart from that, it's been very low maintenance. One issue is it has grown right up into our frangipani, and in the cooler months, I'm going to trim it right back down. And I think what we're going to do is, because I knew it would want to grow into the sun, I think what we're going to do is we're going to put in a nice big arch or two and encourage it to grow out. So it'll get the sun, but it's not going to pull down the frangipani. But with the flowers here, there is the potential for a crop. Now we've only got 2 more weeks, almost, maybe less, probably less. By the time this video goes out, it could not even be summer anymore. We've got only a week or 2 of summer left. And as a result, I'm actually just not sure whether these late bloomers will actually produce fruit, whether the production can kind of go into autumn. Now, that aside, I think the important thing to remember is when I put the passion fruit in, I kind of thought to myself, how long is it going to take? And a bit of the advice online did seem to say possibly 3 months. The more general advice seemed to be about 18 months before you're going to get a decent crop of passion fruit, and we'll see how we go on this one, but that is probably the more realistic goal at this stage. And it's been in about 6 months, so it hasn't even been in that long and it's already got flowers on it. We have had a lot of problems with pollinators just not being present, and so whether that will affect this is another question as well. But it is right next to the frangipani trees, which are covered in flowers, so that's got to help, surely. Apart from that, one of the great ironies is we've had another vine on the property, or another 2 vines, but one particularly that have done very well indeed. And the funny thing is that I didn't plant them. So the ones I didn't put in have done the best. And what I also discovered is when I planted mine, I did it in a disjointed fashion, and I planted, I think it was 5 Panama red passion fruits, which was kind of silly because I thought I was planting a variety. The old memory, not so good. The most ironic part of this whole situation is the 2 vines that were here before us and that have now gone crazy, they are Panama Reds as well. So I've got 7 Panama Reds. Yeah, don't know what to say about that one. Let's go have a look at the super successful plant that surprised me the other day. Just checking for snakes. So this behind me is where one of our wild, so to speak, passion fruits was growing. And this particular passion fruit vine, it didn't impress me. It didn't seem to be doing that well. It's living under this gum tree here. It has grown up this little tree beside the gum tree. It kind of sent up one big long vine, and I mean, I knew it was there, and I have walked past it and looked at it numerous times, but I came out here the other day and there were 10 passion fruit. And I know you're going to ask me, where are those 10 passion fruit now? We ate them. We had a passion fruit cake. However, where is it? The first one I spotted was this one here, which has a big bite out of it from something. I don't know what, but it might still be good. However, I thought I'd leave it because it was just kind of a cool example of my passion fruit growing wild. And when I say my passion fruit, obviously the previous owner had planted some, and there was one here and there's one over by the water heater on the cabin, and both of those came pretty good this season. Obviously the one up in the tree, it was really quite stringy. It only had that one vine heading up the tree that just disappeared off into nowhere, and I didn't even know it was fruiting. And I came out, and like I said, there were 10 passion fruits just sitting in this little area here. They hadn't been taken by birds or parrots or anything, which is quite surprising because we do have the big black cockatoos here. And I just found it crazy, and I thought it was amazing. It was such a cool experience because on the one hand, I've planted all of these passion fruits and I haven't got anything from them yet. It's early days, to be fair. Certainly the ones up in this section of the garden that I thought might turn into an archway and something like that, they were a total failure, waste of time, but that's okay because the other 2 down at the house are doing okay. One really well, one is too shaded, and that's on me. But this one is this is just awesome. So we'll definitely leave this in and let it go, because obviously it's not really hurting anything here. I do have a little dragon fruit behind me as well that I chucked in, and I thought maybe that'll grow up the gum tree. I don't know that I had it quite close enough to the gum tree for that to be realistic, but I have a whole heap of dragon fruit cuttings that I should try that again with, because you know, when you've just got heaps and heaps of extra cuttings, why not try and make use of them? Because obviously I have my little growing area of dragon fruit, but if I can grow them kind of wild, that's just a bonus. Anyway, I just thought that was really cool. We did get 2 passion fruits from the one over on the side of the cabin there, but it was nowhere near as prolific as this one here that went up that tree. So there you go. So just over there hiding behind the grass, we've got the little dragon fruit I planted. And as we come across, we've got some passion fruit vine visible. However, where it gets interesting is here. And here it is going up, 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 up. And just disappearing up there. And it had all this fruit from here. And this is the cabin passion fruit. And again, just the greatest irony that all of these are Panama passion fruit, which I guess the fact that the established ones on the property here is a bit of a sign that they do well here. So yeah, that is pretty cool. But obviously if you get some different varieties, you can get different crop periods and different crop times and maybe multiple crops, because you obviously probably don't want 10,000 passion fruits all at exactly the same time. And I did read somewhere that you can potentially get, I think, a spring and an autumn crop of passion fruit if you do things right. I don't know if that's true of my variety, but that would be pretty cool.